Do you love your wife? He said, yes. I said, do you want to save your marriage? He said, yes. I said, can you place your wife's happiness above your own? He said, what do you mean? I said, I mean, are you willing to place her dreams, her wishes, her desires above your own? He said, I don't think I can do that. I said, you probably won't stay married then. God tells us that the greatest among us shall be the least among us. Great doesn't always mean being first. That's why God has us open doors and pull out chairs, because these actions require somebody to decrease. And if you understand that, decreasing actually propels you in the relationship.
Man, that was some bullshit if I ever heard it. Listen, when he says the greatest among you shall be the least among you, well, then it should be no problem with my wife being the least. If she want to be the greatest, it should be no problem with her being the least. Secondly, acts of service like opening doors and things of that nature and being courteous is not equivalent to putting your wife's hopes and dreams and wishes before your own. He's telling the man how to kill his marriage. Let me show you what happens when you place your wife's desires above your own.
Reason number 101 why I like being in an open marriage with my husband. Because I like to flirt. I will flirt with you. I want to flirt with you. It doesn't matter if I just met you 30 seconds ago in the Walmart checkout line, or if I've known you forever, or if you're my neighbor and I probably shouldn't flirt with you. I want to flirt with you. And I want to not get in trouble for it.
She belongs to the street.
Her desire is to flirt without getting in trouble for it. Should her husband allow her to flirt?
This is directed to all you prideful dudes that say, oh, I don't check phones. Oh, I'm not insecure. He got more money than you. And all 3 kids don't belong to him. So what that say about you and your situation? Y'all be letting some of these shotties gaslight, trying to not get DNA tests, talking about some, that's going to be insecure of you. That's not right. How could you not trust me? Man, what the?
He said, put your wife's desires over your own. Now we got a situation. You desire a DNA test. She doesn't desire a DNA test. What should you do? She desires for you to be around, spend more time at the house. You desire creating generational wealth, so you play football and you're not willing to give up your career to spend more time with her. What should you do?
What? Bro, I don't care how she feel. A real woman not gonna care that you want a DNA test, bro. So now, I'm not gonna sit here and say all women are like this. Of course not. But you can never be too sure. Just like girls be quick to like assume or ask questions and she apologizes afterwards, you should be allowed to assume just the same and then apologize afterwards. Not too insecure, but just for the right circumstances like this. Every child I had, I would DNA test them. Facts. You moving weird, you been acting extra angry with me, I'm checking that phone. Facts. It's 12 dudes in the city right now that I can say their girlfriends is still messing with my homeboys after they had that baby, after they boy done put them in that house. Stop being a clown.
This is why we always say, out of muscles, money, and game, the most important one out of the 3 is game, because every day we see men with money and muscles get taken advantage of by apex predators. I got a friend that play in the NFL. He just got kicked off the Pittsburgh Steelers because of some domestic issues that he had with a woman. Now, the woman came with more red flags than the Chinese parade, but since he didn't have no game and he believed in love, he took this woman under the wing when really he was just supposed to smut her out. But he let her get attached like a tick, ride him on out, and suck the life out of him. And now he in a situation where he's trying to get his life in order because he let a succubus into his world. And so you need to have game. First and foremost, you need to be able to see red flags when it comes to dealing with women. Now, I did a little bit more research on this situation, and the wife of this football player said that this was fake news. And so she told him to go get the DNA test and reveal it publicly to clear up her name. So this is where this situation lies. But what we know is that there's so many situations of paternity fraud all around the world. And we know that it's not the poor guys. Women want to commit paternity fraud with the beta males, because they feel like the beta males will do a better job of taking care of the family. It's so interesting when we look at the dynamics of fatherhood, and I don't like to compare animals to humans, but I was looking at something that really intrigued me. A documentary about animals in Atlantic City, and they were showing flies, right? And when they mating with each other, the paternity is formed based off the fly that stays. And so it doesn't matter who impregnated the fly, it matters who's there. And so while they in the process of mating and stuff like that, when they finish mating, another fly will come and try to knock the male fly off the female fly so they can claim paternity. Even though it's not right, I'm not justifying it. I'm just saying that a lot of times people actually be looking at paternity like a gift. Like if you say that this baby belongs to this man, even though it don't, it's like a gift to the man to be able to take care of kids and be able to say, that's my daddy, regardless if he the one who actually got you pregnant or not. Now, I think that's manipulation on a large scale because I'm a liberated man. You know what I mean? I believe in traveling the world. I believe in doing a whole bunch of things. And I believe if you going to work every day and you trying to figure out how you can take care of kids, this is foul. This is foul. And this football player is a top 1%er. And I keep seeing the 1% men, high value men, get beat over the head. To me, if you're a high value man and you don't have no game, you're just a high value target.
You said on your Twitter, I saw this, men play chess, women play checkers. I was curious. I was curious. What do you mean by that?
So, like, my dad raised me to understand that men play chess and women play checkers, so that they have a completely different line of thinking than women do. And I didn't really used to, like, understand what he was talking about, but as I got older, I did, and especially the last couple of years, I see in real time every day men creating circumstances for things that women don't see, whether it be positive or negative. And men are meant to do that, he said, because they are the leaders in the home, so they're supposed to create the circumstances for their family's success, and they do that by chess. And it happens completely unbeknownst to women because we just don't think in that way, and that's a good thing. Like, they have a very a strong ability to compartmentalize and so that they can keep going in difficult situations and hardships that chisel them rather than cripple women, right? Just that's how they become great men and fathers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could you give an example of what does it mean women play with chess? Like,
you mean men play chess?
Yeah.
And women. Okay,
Checkers,
so
sorry, women.
An example of this, I would say, is a lot of women feminists who are in power. A lot of times they think that they are the ones pulling the strings and making decisions, and men are giving them positions of power so that they can feel like they're making good moves. Whole time the men are behind the scenes pulling the strings on what they're doing, and even actually more in control than they understand them to be, and just using the women as a pawn. So they're playing chess in real time and moving all the pieces on the board. Meanwhile, the women think they're making decisions, but the men are just setting them up to do exactly what they want, whether they decide to submit or not. So a lot of women are like, oh, I would never submit to a man, but in actuality, either with men in society, whether you choose to submit or not, they're gonna make you submit. Like, you either choose to submit to a husband and a father who loves and cares about you and God, or you're gonna submit to someone in corporate America that's just gonna play chess moves with you for their own benefit and their own family. So that's a real-time example. Judges, lawyers, whatever.
Word? Now, do any of the girls disagree with her?
I would say I agree.
Oh my God. She just gave a real master class. That was brilliant. That was brilliant. And shout out to her father for bestowing these lessons on her. Somebody in the comment section said, protect this woman at all costs. Somebody else said she became more beautiful the more she spoke. This shows what men truly value here. She made it so clear to understand as well. And at the end of the day, this is exactly why you don't go along with your wife's desires, because you're supposed to be playing chess. This is what we always talk about, women being loaded down with sin. Now, the serpent comes in, he gives your woman a desire. Should you listen to your woman? Should Adam eat the apple because Eve desired knowledge and wisdom to be like a god? Should Adam eat the apple now?
When a man cheats, it's like one person washing hands in different bowls. One person washing hands in different bowls. Okay. When a woman cheats, it's like different persons washing hands in one bowl. Different person washing hands in one bowl. You see the difference? You're welcome. Don't play.
Why are you gay? One of the fatal mistakes that men make is trying to make women their equal. And a lot of times men do this because just like you have penis envy, you have penis guilt. There are a lot of men that feel guilty that they was born a man. They like, I was just born a man. I don't want all this pressure. Like, why was I born? Like, because I was born a man, why does that mean that I gotta be a leader? She's smart too. She got, bro, inflate the left one, inflate the right one, and let your nuts hang, please. I'm not saying that you don't ever have to oblige your wife in what she desires, but what I'm saying is that you are the gatekeeper for her desires. You are the gatekeeper. You are the one to say, you know what? No, that's not a good desire. And that's why this clip is so vital to me, because it shows that there's a difference between men having multiple wives or men being with multiple women and women being with multiple men. It's not that I condone it. It's just that it's different and it does not equal the same thing. When men cheat, men pay. When women cheat, men pay. And because men pay, we typically have this mindset.
Used to date a Muslim girl. She came to me early in the relationship and said, would you consider becoming Muslim so we could get married? And I was like, no, I'm Christian. I just want one wife and a girlfriend. Who wants 4 wives? I was raised right, you know? Nobody wants to come home from a night of drinking and be like, I was out with the fellas. I was out with the fellas. I was out with the fellas. I was out with the fellas.
Listen, envy is a real thing. But what I find with envious people is they don't want to do what you did to get what you got. They don't want the accountability that you have. And so a lot of times when men speak the way that this man was speaking in the beginning, all he's doing is breeding envy in women and speaking to women that are already envious of their man. And when you hear these panda bears speak, you have to wonder what their agenda is. What is their objective? Is their objective to get your wife to spend money to buy his books? Is their objective to bring about dissatisfaction? And that's the crazy thing about marketing, and that's the crazy thing about business. You have to be careful, because in the world of marketing, in the world of business, if you want people to buy something, you have to create dissatisfaction, even if there is none. And so when I hear men like this speak, it's the type of language that breeds envy. And we start telling men that it's their responsibility to put their wife's desires over their own. That messaging is very toxic, is very poison. And I know a lot of men have fallen prey to it at some point in time in their life. And if it didn't kill their relationship, it led to a lot of misery. But anywho's, for any man that's out there dealing with leadership issues, dealing with issues in your life, and you want to take your life to the next level, you want to eradicate those issues, I have an amazing book that I just wrote called The Enemy Within. You know, in this book, it deals with transforming your mindset, right? And by transforming your mindset, you can get anything you want to get. You can increase your money. You can increase your career. You can take that first step to building the business that you want to build. But as men, nobody cares about our excuses for why we not getting the job done. So if you're not getting the job done and you know deep down in your heart something needs to change, I highly advise you to check out my book, man. It's at QBracey.com. That's CUEBRACEY.com. Also, if you like this video, I have another video similar to this entitled Woman Fights Back Tears, trying to figure out why it's so hard for her to find a man. Click the link below to check that video out, and I'll see y'all over there. Peace.